Hello there, this is Alan English, actor, writer and autism trainer with another autism tutorial. And this one is on the subject of school lessons, with a little bit of a look at academia. Now, for me, it took a while, much longer than expected, for me to learn how to be on my own in public without the presence of my parents and to do things on my own without the presence of adults to guide me. This was a real kind of developmental delay. When I was in nursery, I got applauded when, after several stumbling attempts, I finally went to the toilet on my own. Yeah, that was a big achievement for me. And I remember when I got back to the classroom, people applauded, and there was a teacher who just applauded me and says, yes, yes, very good, very good. Okay. Yeah, but that's that kind of developmental delay I kind of had, and just kind of like being independent within myself in that environment. Now, when it came to academic subjects, contrary to popular autistic stereotypes, I was never a maths or science genius. No way. I much preferred English or drama, which eventually I, of course, came to specialise in. Now, I had an initial interest in reading books, and my favourite author was Roald Dahl. I liked, his combination of the dark and the grotesque. Now, my interest in acting and theatre, that was not immediate, and it came later. I'll discuss that in a future video, but conscious of being inferior to others, at least in a social sense, I worked hard at my subjects and succeeded in the end at being good, if not wholly exceptional. Now, my academic career in school stayed pretty consistent from primary school, which was the next step up from nursery, and all the way through to secondary school, and was not too affected, thankfully, by all of the nonsense that was going on around it in my life. However, when it came to exam years, I found myself persuaded by teachers and parents to take exam subjects that were good for me as opposed to subjects that I wanted to do. For example, they told me to do computing, and which is we're lost in today's world without computing skills, Alan, as opposed to home economics, which I thought was a better fit for me. Exam stress and pressure to succeed caused multiple meltdowns and bouts of anxiety. I actually called my first exam year the Year of Hell after a Star Trek Voyager episode of the same name. This was down to all the constant pressure I kind of felt under. Yes, you have to pass your estimate exams. You have to pass your final standard grade exams. It felt on you. It felt really, really, really piled up into my brain at that time, and it really, really stressed me out. Career-wise, this is kind of awkward, but I faced a difficult choice between doing what I wanted to do, that was acting and theatre, and getting something to support myself. So in the end, I took a degree in publishing at university. Exam pressure, it never really let off, and I think it got worse during university, and especially my final year at university, where towards the end of maybe my the final 6 months of my honours year at university, my brain went completely. I absolutely cracked. When I can remember, just completing an essay, one of my last essays at university, and going so crazy about it that I literally crawled on my hands and knees out of the IT lab that I was working in on campus. That was how crazy it got. In the end, I wound up graduating successfully, but I had no real graduate job prospects, and my self-esteem had gone to pieces. I think from this experience and what I've gone through since, with employment, autistic people work best doing what they enjoy and what they're good at. So I think if an autistic child has a subject that they're interested in, however arcane or artistic or random that subject appears to be, I think it's healthy for the parents to encourage the children to pursue and follow up on this subject. In fact, I think you're better off, kids are better off pursuing these such kinds of interests rather than just hanging around on street corners. Greater acceptance of autism, makes a lot of this stuff, exam pressure easier now. But other factors such as environment and family background play a huge part in a child's success. And that's what we're going to look at in the next video.